I hope you guys are doing well out there. I know it's been a minute since you've seen me, but I am back to make another video and to talk about something that I've not spoken about yet on my channel until today, and it's going to be about my veganism. I currently have been a vegan for 5 years now. I don't really remember what day I became vegan, but I know it's been 5 years at this point. So I thought the best way to kind of trademark this journey so far would be to make a video about it. So I came up with some pros and cons, 5 of each, and I'm just gonna talk about the things I've learned and experienced in my journey of being a vegan so far. So if you guys are interested, just stay tuned. First pro would be the knowledge and consciousness that I have gained in my journey of being a vegan. The information that I looked up when I was first looking into the lifestyle, because whenever you kind of transition from one lifestyle to another, whatever that would be, you would need to do an extensive amount of research into what you're trying to understand or what you're trying to experience. I binge watched a whole lot of people on YouTube at the time because I feel like a year later the whole vegan phenomenon kind of popped off, and everywhere I looked there were so many like vegan inspirations. It was just like a hot topic at the time. I'm not really sure what year that was, but I remember like it was a lot of YouTubers that were really big that were vegan. For example, Freely the Banana Girl, Cheap Lazy Vegan, some other ones I can't even remember, but there were a lot of YouTubers that you could definitely learn things from and get information from. And aside from that, I did my own research, of course, and looked up the facts for myself, and also watched a lot of documentaries that honestly, watching the documentaries themselves just would have turned me vegan. Everything I was consuming like day to day, because like I said, I kind of like binge watch, or whenever I'm interested in something, I just kind of like binge on that specific topic for a long period of time until either one, I get bored, or two, I already have a good understanding of whatever I was looking up. So yeah, I was just always consuming a lot of information about veganism and the lifestyle and how it affects the world around you and why it's a more sustainable type of lifestyle to live. So yeah, all that information definitely just kind of changed my viewpoint on me being a consumer, period, and how I affect the world around me, animals, how I am affected by the animals, even myself when I'm consuming them or their products. I feel like honestly with me seeing how a lot of vegans are and just how a lot of plant-based eaters are as well, and how my life kind of changed when I transitioned into being vegan, I feel like consciousness also comes with the lifestyle. I feel like people who that I've came across who eat more like whole foods and more sustainable foods also adopt that sustainable lifestyle. Not saying that they're all, eco-friendly or whatever, but I would definitely say they're more aware in a sense to how their consumerism affects everything else. I just kind of started rambling. Anyway, I'm not saying that you have to be vegan or plant-based to be conscious. I personally just feel like most people who are plant eaters also get that reputation of being more like hippie-ish or Mother Earth, even though I feel like it's honestly fact, because most people who are vegan are usually trying to do what they're doing for the betterment of mankind. I've definitely became more aware of how I affect everything, and just that came with knowledge and learning how everything works behind the scenes and not ignoring the fact. So my top con definitely would be the judgment and intimidation that you get in society when you're vegan. I don't really want to elaborate on this too deeply or too lengthy, but I am gonna talk about it. I would definitely say I don't tell just random people I'm vegan because it's really no point. I've learned in social settings, it's more like kind of a target on your back because immediately, I personally have been kind of bombarded with information I kind of perceive as false. And not saying I'm right and one person's wrong. I'm just saying I don't care who's vegan, honestly. Like, I've never told anybody to be vegan unless I am close to them and it was for the betterment of them feeling good. But other than that, like, I don't go around recruiting people to be vegan. I feel like that's the misconception, is that like we want you to live a certain way or whatever. Whether it's misinformation or correct information in their book, I really just don't have time to debate with anybody. That's not what I told anybody I was vegan for. Like, I don't tell anybody how to live. I don't really care. So definitely the judgment and the intimidation. Number 2 pro would be my overall health. And I say that because when I became vegan, I adopted a lot of traits that were just very healthy. Just naturally, because my life was changing and I was just trying new things and they felt good, honestly. For example, exercise. I love exercise. It feels good. It feels like a relief. It feels just invigorating, honestly. So I was definitely kind of working out when I was not vegan. Whenever you are, for example, active, just the food burns easier inside your body and digests faster than I ever felt like before. As far as my weight, before I was vegan, I remember always being like 145, 140. And now I'm usually 125 or 130 or 120 on a good day. So yeah, I definitely have lost weight, but that's just, I think, honestly, because mainly the food, I can't lie, mainly the food. Along with the exercise, I adopted just really valuing my hydration. Before I was vegan, I don't really think I was really focused on being hydrated all the time, but I always try to, you know, drink as much fluids as I can, whether it's water or tea or just very watery fruits. You know, I try to always be hydrated throughout the day. So that was something else I've definitely adopted. I've just educated myself on what I needed as far as like vitamins, minerals, hydration, motion. And I just feel like, oh, I definitely want to at least try to implement these things daily. I'll feel lazy. I'll feel like I'm just kind of doing myself a disservice. I would definitely say I adopted a lot of really healthy habits that just overall changed me as far as my intake and my activity. My number 2 con with being vegan would definitely be planning everything you eat, pretty much. If I'm home, there's no problem. I could just grab whatever and make whatever. As far as not being home, you do need to watch out for places that don't cater to your needs. So you definitely need to look at like restaurant menus ahead of time before you go, or like if you're gonna be out for long periods of time, you gotta decide if you wanna bring a snack with you. Whenever I go to work, I always bring my lunch with me. I definitely make my lunch. I definitely make all my food. Sometimes I meal prep if I make like a big pot of something, and then I just, you know, put it in different containers and eat on that for a week. But as far as like planning ahead of time, you definitely need to do that, or else you just won't really have options, or you'll not pick the best option for you. The third pro with being vegan would be that in my eyes, everything I eat is pretty much guilt-free, and I eat so much food. Everything I eat is pretty much guilt-free, and I eat so much food. When I wasn't vegan, I ate a lot honestly anyway, because I was just bored, and everybody knows you just kind of eat a lot as like something to pass the time. So yeah, I felt like I always ate a lot, but this time, now that I'm vegan, I feel like I can just kind of eat whatever I want. I still gain weight, honestly, like I definitely do. For example, if I make like a bunch of pasta back and forth, or like eat a whole bunch of like breads or like vegan burgers that I've made, or like a whole lot of normal whites or starchy foods, definitely still gain weight, but it's not really much, honestly. And personally, it's still guilt-free compared to what I was eating before, which when you think of the calories and just really anything that I was eating or anything you would see on the package, it's just like, wow, that's kind of like 1/3 of your calories that you're supposed to intake, where when you're vegan, I don't really know how many calories I'm eating, honestly. But the good thing is I feel like I don't need to know, like I don't care. I'm constantly just snacking on fruit, honestly, or vegetables throughout the day. So it's like, what calories need to be counted? I still have other stuff that are starchy and fatty, but honestly, those are just kind of still guilt-free versions of what I could be eating. When you can think about eating 3 times more food, or eating, honestly, if you want to say the same amount of food as you're eating now, I'd rather do that and still intake like half or 3/4 the calories. What I was eating before definitely had me more swollen than now. Like I said, I was 140 or whatever, so I'm just constantly, if anything, 20 pounds lighter just from my dietary option. Another con of being vegan for me would be the temptation. Yeah, there's a lot of temptations to not be vegan. They're pretty much everywhere, as far as like advertisements or, you know, restaurants or whatever. It's very tempting to kind of revert back and maybe try something, which you're definitely able to do. Honestly, I just don't really get tempted like that anymore. I just know what I want to eat, and that's not it. So yeah, you just get a lot of temptations that basically don't apply to you. Another pro of being vegan for me would be the digestive system, and I will make this very quick, but I definitely feel like it's a positive, because I believe it's better out than in. And I can remember when I was not vegan, I wouldn't pee a lot, honestly, and I felt like I was probably making 1, maybe 2 bowel movements a day, if that. And compared to now, I feel very, very regular. I feel like I'm constantly going to the bathroom to pee because I just, 1, drink more fluids, and the food I eat, well, the fruits I eat are high in water content. So I feel like you're definitely in the bathroom more often. I don't mind it, honestly. I don't smell, honestly, anything. Unless, I guess it depends what you eat, because like if you eat garlic, watch out. Literally what goes in is quickly about to come out in like less than 24 hours. So I think that's a positive, because honestly, I like it and I feel good. I don't like feeling like, you know, Fourth thing that I think is a con about being vegan is denying free food everywhere. When you go to like a store and there's sample foods or whatever, whenever you go to like a potluck or sharing things, people want to share something with you. They're usually never healthy or never vegan. I would not say healthy. I would say they're never vegan. So I always have to say, oh no, thank you. I can't eat that. Having to deny foods that used to be a pleasure is definitely not fun, but it's just what comes with it. The best thing I would say, so people don't think you're rude or whatever, or if you don't want to tell people you're vegan and go down the whole rabbit hole of why, I learned that telling people that you're allergic to something is the kindest way to like graciously, you know, reject something. I don't really tell people I'm allergic all that often, but that is definitely something I would recommend saying. But it's okay because we're in the corona right now. So, I mean, I doubt anybody is going to be sharing food anytime soon. My fifth thing that is my favorite thing about being vegan would be the delicious foods and just falling in love with whole foods and how they affect me. Being vegan, I feel like I have a whole new love for things that I was overlooking or things I was not interested in before. Naming one of them would be watermelon. I used to never like eating watermelon because it would only be sweet, in my opinion, in the middle, like in the center of the watermelon. And that would be the part also with no seeds really. So I was just very picky with everything I used to eat as far as like fruits and vegetables. I was very finicky. But as I became a vegan, I was eating way more watermelon than I was ever willing to eat before. And I learned to love watermelon. And even if I did want to eat something similar to what I was eating before, I've learned to love looking up recipes as far as alternatives to make these things, like cinnamon rolls, crab cakes, what else have I made? Vegan macaroni and cheese. All these things that you have that are normal can be made vegan. It does take time and it does take effort. There are so many recipe channels on YouTube, so many different things, even on the cooking channel or Food Network. Fifth thing I dislike about being vegan would be the misinformation out there. I just always recommend people do their own research and decide what is best for them as far as dietary needs. I definitely don't recommend being vegan to everybody because honestly, you have to be ready for it. It takes a lot of time and effort and dedication, honestly. If it was easy, everybody would do it, I think. So yeah, there is a lot of misinformation out there, but I definitely recommend you do your own research. The time I became vegan, I was at a time in my life where I had a lot of free time to, you know, dive into this and further expound upon the things I wanted to know. So if you definitely are interested in furthering your ideals. So those are my 5 pros and 5 cons for 5 years of being vegan. And I really enjoyed making this video for you guys. It took a while, but I really enjoyed it. I actually think I would like to do a Q&A video for you guys as well. Just kind of to expand upon different topics that I didn't get to in this video. So if you guys have any questions, please leave those down below in the comment section. I will read them, and if there's enough, I will make a video to talk about them with you guys. But until then, this is all for today, and I hope you guys have a good one. Bye.